Good morning at Thompson Middle School. Welcome to the AMS TV news for the week of April 10th. I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Jackson. We hope you had an enjoyable and restful spring break. Let's check out this week's positive message.
Hi, I'm Ivy, and today's positive message is by Lady Bird Johnson, President Johnson's wife. Where flowers bloom, so does hope.
Before the break, 6th graders got to meet librarian, author, and lecturer John Shue. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Julie Rose.
And I'm Ivy.
And I'm John Shue.
We're here today with John Shue, author, librarian, and lecturer.
Oh, thank you.
How are you today, Mr. Shue?
Well, I am doing really well today. I'm a little bit sweaty because when we were together celebrating books today, and I didn't say this during the assembly, but reading truly is a workout for the heart.
It is.
And reading is a workout for the imagination. And reading is a workout for the soul. So my heart and my imagination and my soul, because of you and because of your classmates, is really good right now.
How do you feel when you look back on the books you've written? Is there anything you would change or do differently?
Oh, no, that's really interesting. So I wrote a book called The Gift of Story, which is a book that I wrote for teachers. And I was at a conference in Ohio 3 weeks ago. And as part of my introduction, they read aloud the first chapter of my book. Well, not the whole chapter, part of the chapter. And as the person was reading it aloud, I was changing the words in my head. And so I was like revising it. And then sometimes I find when I read aloud something that I've written, I too start changing the words, and I start like changing the pacing, and I start changing the cadence. So to answer your question, everything that I write, when I look back on it, I'm like, I could have done it a little bit differently, but I did it as best as I could in that moment. Yeah.
What kinds of complications have you run into while writing a book?
Complications while writing. So the biggest complication while writing a book is time. Because I travel every single week. And I met all of you today, right? I was with 160 6th graders today. And yesterday I was with 400 6th and 7th graders. And then tomorrow I'm going to be with 500 1st through 5th graders. And so when I leave your schools, I leave like filled with lots of energy, but I'm also a little bit tired. And when I get back to my hotel room every night, I'm supposed to write. So the biggest complication for me when it comes to writing is finding the time to
balance
write.
everything.
Yeah, balancing it when I'm on the road. Yeah. Are we doing okay?
What is your advice for students who pursue a career in writing?
Okay, so I think that in order to write, you have to be really brave. And in order to write, you have to be very vulnerable. And in order to write, you have to have time, as we just talked about. So I think you have to be brave by opening up your heart. I think you have to be vulnerable by maybe writing a story that only you can write. And I think that's why writing in a notebook is so important for me, because I carry my notebook everywhere that I go. And everywhere I go, I observe people and I listen to people and I eavesdrop on people. And that's what helps me as a writer. So, but that might not help you. So I think as a writer, you have to figure out what works for you to help you do the best writing possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of like there really is no one answer. You have to figure out for yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Shu. It's been wonderful speaking with you
Oh,
today.
it was wonderful speaking with you. You did a great job. Thank you. Thanks. Yay!
Thanks. That was a lot of fun. As preparation for a test on ancient China, Miss Sementilli's class participated in the Glow Games.
Students worked in the dark to complete activities and answer questions. Black lights illuminated neon stations where different aspects of ancient China were revealed. Let's take a look.
Wow, that was an amazing time. I'm sure the students learned a lot. Now, let's turn things over to Julia, who will recite her poem about spring.
The meadow's flowers grew vast and were gray, and no flower had any idea what to say, until it came to spring day. When the first glance of spring sun hit the meadow, the flowers were colored in a really bright yellow. Then once the sun had made its full rotation, a spark of happiness finally spread across the nation. The flowers laughed, sang, and waved, because now that it was spring, their lives were saved. Earthworms peeked out of the ground just enough to see the sun. Butterflies flapped their wings happily, seeing how spring had begun. And the birds soon chirped out harmonies, lucky enough to spot the snow from winter becoming undone. Everyone was happy, everyone was glad, and not one folk but a sad old winter was mad.
Thanks, Julia. That was a wonderful way to welcome spring. That's all for now. Thanks for watching the AMS TV News.
Have a great week.